I took off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Could feel the ground change when I stepped on the wood of the clipboard. Could you hear it? Could hear it too. Bleep! How many? 12. 12, Coach repeated, grabbing me by an arm and walking back to the track. Okay, so 12 will get you to the first. The rest, he smiled, the rest is the waltz. The what? I stopped walking. Do you remember the dance I made you and Ghost do earlier this season when Patty and Deja and all them were learning to run their relay? Of course, how could I ever forget? Coach clowned us in front of everybody just for cracking a few jokes about Patty. Had us slow dancing in front of the whole team. Coach, I can't do that again. No, not the dancing part, but the counting. Coach led me back down to the hurdles. Everything was blurry. He stood between the first and the second hurdle. Between those two, there's 1, 2, 3. Then he moved down and stood between the second and third hurdle. The further he got, the clearer he became. 1, 2, 3 steps, see? Then between the third, fourth, unblurring a little more, his nose and ears appeared on his face. 1, 2, 3, and then hurdle. 1, 2, 3, hurdle. I repeated, trying to understand the deal with my half-blind world. That's it. You don't have to see the hurdles to know it's there. You'll feel it in your way. And sometimes timing is all you need to get over it. I could tell you by the sound of his voice that he was trying to control the excitement of his own ridiculous theory. He gave it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Again, he started walking me back to the starting line, this time all the way, going on and on about how risky this was, which was a terrible way to get me gassed up to do it, but I had to try it. Had to. Not just for me, but for the team. I got on the line, 12 steps to get to the first, then waltzed to the others. Coach was a funny-looking cloud, reminded me of one more time before slipping the whistle into his mouth. 12 steps to get the first, waltz to the end. Get up quick, lead with a knee. 12 steps to the first, 12 steps to the first, 12. Beep! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Up and over I went, clean, smooth, like a tenderoni or something. I can't explain it, but it felt so amazing. So amazing I forgot the waltz part and added an extra step in there and clipped the next hurdle. I crashed hard on the track. My third time today. I could hear everybody else suck air through their teeth, like a bunch of hissing snakes. I needed that venom removed. I'm okay, I called out, rolling onto my back. Then, rocking up and hopping my feet, I brushed myself up. You sure? Coach asked, running over. His voice sounded sideways, which meant his face was sideways, which meant he was looking for something. And I knew exactly what he was looking for. He was trying to see if I was embarrassed. I ain't have to see him to know that. Yeah, I'm straight, I said. I, I, I was. I felt good to make it over one line. Coach's voice had some smirk in it when he said, then back in the line. After a few more falls and eventually success jump, some successful jumps over all 4 hurdles practiced, which felt more like football than track, was over. I sat on the bench and waited for my mom. The bench was the safest part for me, since I couldn't see nothing. I watched everybody go in and out of focus and teammates to talking smudges drifting around me. Aaron was Aaron, but he was nothing but a smear of brown when he walked by. He ain't say nothing. Me neither. Ghost sat next to me, and he was sitting next to a real ghost. He ain't say much either, even though I could hear the different voices of my teammates all around. I could also hear the crackling sound paper makes when folded or unfolded. Knew it was coming from Ghost and remembered the stuff about his dad, the anniversary. It had been a tough day for both of us. You good? I rubbed my knees. I asked, rubbing my knees. They were sore, scraped up. Sonny had already left. His father was almost always on time, and Patty had her little sister, Maddie, on her back over by the parking lot, which is how I was able to see her, and was slapboxing Deja. Her whole relay team, Deja, Christo, Britt, Brat, had been messing with her after practice, calling her Captain Jones. You good? Ghost said, back when the paper sound was gone. Aaron finally got you, huh? Ain't nobody worried about Aaron, I snapped. I'm worried about those hurdles. Either way, I'm good. I can't see nothing, but I'm good. I can't see. Can't see? Nah, got dirt in my contacts. They all messed up. You wear contacts? Ghost asked, just like Coach asked, and I immediately thought he was going to roast me, but instead he followed with, dude, you know how wild you gotta be to stick something like that in your eyeball? I can't even be touching my own eyeballs, bro. That's nah. I laughed, still rubbing my knees. Rubbing, rubbing, rubbing. Not as hard as earlier when I was putting on the sunscreen, but still hard enough to maybe rub the pain out. It ain't that bad. It ain't that wild. So you can't see for real? He asked, then immediately knew he was waving his hand in front of my eyes because everybody do the same thing. Plus, the constant flashing of brown would make me feel sick. Stop. I couldn't help it. Anyway, like I was saying about the hurdles, should be ready for Saturday if I can just stay on my own, out of my own head, you know? Rubbing, rubbing. Of course I know. I heard Ghost bag zip. He patted me on the shoulder, told him I'm gonna see him tomorrow, and started walking away. Ghost, help me out, bro. I called out. I can't see, remember? Oh, yeah. Ghost came back, grabbed me by the arm, and we headed toward the parking lot. The breeze had settled, and I was just whispering around us. Hey, can I ask you something? I looked ahead, could see my mother pulling into the distance. As long as I ain't about my dad. It's not. It's about the dude you were with today at the store, the big guy, I said. How do you know him? I don't. Just met him today. In the summertime, I always help Mr. Charles do stock and clean and just take care of different things in the store. It's only a few times a week, but at least it gives me something to do during the day. Plus, Mr. Charles always puts a little chicken in my pocket, he said. Don't tell Coach, or he'll hit you up for cab fare. Anyway, I went in today, and that dude was there helping out too. Mr. Charles told me he just moved to Glass Manor. Not sure where from, because we ain't talk about nothing like that, just basketball. I told him I used to hoop, but not no more. And then he told me he started going on and on about how he's nice on the court, swear he's going to be in the league. That dude, that big dude, thinks he's going to the NBA. There was a giggle in Ghost's voice. I want to be in the NFL, maybe, but I don't know him like that yet. Word, I said dryly, partly because I couldn't believe Kelvin was working with Ghost, and partly because the NBA, really? Yeah, seems okay though. His name, Kelvin. I cut him off. I know his name. I know him. And I know he's not okay. Yeah, I could tell. But the way you were looking at him made me think y'all had static or something. Nah, ain't no beef. He just. Then I thought about who I was talking to. Ghost, my friend. And if there's one thing I knew about him, it's that he didn't play with bullies. I remembered what he told us happened between him and the boy at school who was talking about him and his name. Run for the Bolts. I can't remember, but I know he got balled up by Castle Crenshaw. And I ain't want that Ghost to do nothing to Kelvin and get fired from his job. Plus, Kelvin is big. Ghost ain't. And I know Ghost can hold his own, but against smelly Captain T, nah, not without some serious lumps. Ain't no beef, man. Just wanted to know how you knew him. I used to go to school with him, that's all. I reached my hand out for a 5 and started zombie walking to my mother's car. Hey, yo, Lou, before you bounce, can I ask you something real quick? I turned around, thinking it would probably be about what Aaron had said to me teasing Ghost when we first met. I called his shoes mashed up ones and had ruined by cutting the high top part off so he could use them as running shoes. Free free box. Sykes. And honestly, for that, I'm lucky Ghost ain't thumped me, too. What's up? I braced myself. Ghost's face now a smear of peanut butter. How come you all delivered a sombrero? Oh, I suggested. It's called art.